Have you ever been hit with the guilt trip? You're called selfish or ungrateful, or that you've totally forgotten where you came from. And all because you said no to lending money to a family member? It's a really painful spot to be in. So today, we're going to tackle this head on. This is your step-by-step guide to breaking free from that toxic debt of gratitude and taking back your financial future. I want you to really let that sink in for a minute. What we're talking about today has nothing to do with being a bad son or daughter or an ungrateful person. It's about recognizing a very specific and very damaging kind of manipulation. It's about choosing your own sanity and, frankly, your own survival. So here's the core idea we need to get straight. We're not talking about real family support. We're talking about something we can call financial slavery. It's when every nice thing someone did for you as a kid is suddenly turned into a bill, like they made a down payment on your future paychecks. That's not a family bond, my friend. That's a toxic contract you never, ever agreed to sign. To defend yourself, you've got to know what weapons are being used against you. And this isn't just about dollars and cents. It's emotional warfare. So let's pull back the curtain on the main tactic, turning kindness into what's essentially a cunning investment. This right here is the critical difference. Real, sincere kindness, it's a gift, no strings attached. But a cunning investment? Whew, that's a loan with emotional interest that just keeps compounding for the rest of your life. It is specifically designed to keep you feeling guilty, indebted, and, most importantly, like an open wallet they can tap anytime. Oh man, does that sound familiar? This line, or some version of it, is the classic calling card of this whole manipulation game. It's built to make you feel like a horrible person for just having basic financial boundaries. But let's be crystal clear about something. Raising a child is a parent's responsibility. It is not a stock market investment that's supposed to pay dividends from your adult salary. Okay, so now we know how to spot the emotional games. Let's get into the real-world danger zones. We're going to go over 3 specific financial requests that are so destructive, you have to treat them as absolute, non-negotiable red lines. Don't think of them as favors, they're traps. First up, being asked to pay off their debt, especially things like credit cards or sketchy online loans. Look, when you do this, you're not actually solving their problem. Their problem isn't a one-time lack of cash, it's a long-term lack of discipline. All you're really doing is taking their financial garbage and moving it into your life. You become the cleanup crew for their bad decisions. Now, this one is probably the most dangerous of all. Your work certificate, your proof of employment, that is the key to your entire financial world. Handing that over so someone else can get a loan isn't being nice. It's basically a form of financial suicide. Because if they default, and let's be honest, people with bad money habits often do, the bank isn't going to waste time chasing them. It's going to come straight for your salary, automatically, for years. This third trap is sneaky because it sounds so reasonable at first. Hey, just lend me this big chunk of money and I promise I'll pay you back in small monthly payments. It sounds fair, right? But the math tells a very, very different story. You're not a bank. Your hard-earned money is losing its buying power every single day thanks to inflation. I mean, just look at the brutal math here. Let's say it's a $50 million loan. If they pay you back $500,000 a month, it takes 100 months to pay it off. That's over 8 years. Think about how much more expensive everything has gotten in the last 8 years. The $50 million you eventually get back will be worth way, way less than it is today. You don't just miss out on potential growth. You are guaranteed to take a loss. It's not a loan, it's a subsidy you're paying for. Okay, so you've identified the traps. Now for the most important part, your defense. How do you actually say no without starting a family war? You need to have some clear, firm, pre-planned scripts ready to go. Let's walk through 4 really powerful techniques you can use. All right, let's break these down. First, the pivot to non-monetary help. You say no to the money, but you say yes to helping with your time or your skills. This is great because it shows you still care, but it puts a hard boundary around your cash. Second, my personal favorite, the black goat technique. You blame some outside authority. Oh, sorry, HR has my certificate tied up. It's brilliant because it's not you saying no, it's some faceless policy they can't argue with. Third, offer an effort-based solution. Suggesting you help them sell stuff online is a fantastic test. It separates the people who genuinely need help from those who just want easy money. If they get angry at your offer of actual help, you know what their real motive was. And finally, you deploy the cruel calculator. This is for the person who just won't let up about their fair repayment plan. You don't argue, you don't yell, you just show them the math. You prove, with cold, hard numbers, how inflation makes their plan a financial loss for you. Logic is your shield. So, as we start to wrap this up, I need to be really clear about something. Setting these boundaries isn't cruel. It is the absolute sanest thing you can do for yourself and for your future. It's about changing your whole mindset from guilt and obligation to self preservation and, honestly, a healthier kind of love. These 5 points, this is your new internal defense system. You can respect your family without having to bankroll their mistakes. Sometimes saying no is the most loving thing you can do because it forces them to finally stand on their own 2 feet. And that last one, oh, that's golden. Practice transparency of poverty. They can't ask you for money they don't know you have. Read that again. Let it sink in. I know parasite is a really strong word, but there's a reason it's used here. A parasite is something that lives off of a host, hurting it in the process. When someone's constant financial demands are damaging your well-being and your future, you have an absolute right to protect yourself. And this is the final, ultimate mindset shift. If, after all this, they call you stingy or selfish, don't you dare feel guilty. Feel proud. It's a sign that your new boundaries are working. It's proof that you're no longer an easy target. Their insults are literally the sound of you winning. So I'll just leave you with this one question. You're the one who worked for your money. You're the one building your future. You owe it to yourself to have the same protection and loyalty that you've been guilt-tripped into giving away for so long. Because in the end, your financial survival is on you. If you don't make yourself a priority, nobody else is going to do it for you.